I didn't want to write this book, not at first at least. As a physician, as a neuroscientist, in the leadership positions that I held, I had to hold it all together. I had to show that I was competent, and it was very difficult. The title of my book is The Tsunami in My Mind. A tsunami is different than a hurricane. A hurricane builds up and the weather stations can detect it, and you can actually see the hurricane. You have time to board up your house, get supplies, or leave the area. With a tsunami, you have to have the right equipment. You have to have a seismograph. You have to have the proper knowledge to detect the early signs of bipolar disorder. So my family has a extensive history of bipolar disorder. All the men in the Doan family had bipolar. In my book, I describe how bipolar unfolded in my dad and my brother, and then eventually me. I spent years studying the brain. I studied how dopamine pathways happen. I studied how mental health disorders manifest, but yet I was unable to recognize my own issues when it happened to me personally. The irony is mental illness does not discriminate. It doesn't matter that I was a physician, a neuroscientist. I could actually cite dopamine pathways in the brain, or even a prominent figure in my community. It doesn't matter, because no matter who you are, bipolar can hit you if you have the genetic predisposition and also the environmental risk factors that increase the manifestation of the disorder. And in this book, and also in this video series, I am going to talk about the genetics and the environmental factors and how to mitigate and how to improve your chances of success. I wrote this book not to claim authority, but to surrender it. I wanted to describe to the heart, to the very soul of what bipolar disorder is. I want to demystify it. I want to destigmatize it. I want to make sure that people understand that it is a form of a brain attack, and it's not a failing of moral character or personality issues with that individual. A brain attack is similar to a heart attack. In a heart attack, when someone has a blocked vessel in their heart, it can manifest as an outright stroke, organ failure, or even death if the heart stops. Bipolar disorder and other mental illnesses are very similar. The problem is when the brain malfunctions, the dysfunctional behaviors are what are observed by other people. So the problem is people observe the bipolar brain and they judge that individual, but what they don't understand is that there's a fundamental error in the way the brain is functioning, in the dopamine pathways and the neurotransmitter pathways in the brain. So I want to help demystify this. I want to help explain it so people understand, so that one, those who are ill can go get help and stick with their medications. Two, for family members to understand why things are happening, why certain behaviors are manifesting. And then third, for those who are just curious, I applaud you, because further education actually helps to pursue my advocacy efforts so that I can educate and show and also increase compassion for those with mental illness. I am a Vietnamese refugee, and in immigrant families, we don't talk about mental illness. And throughout my life, my mother and my family has kept mental illness very quiet. They kind of shoved it in the closet and want to make sure that no one sees it. There was a lot of shame involved. And so this is my effort. I'm going to break that cycle. I'm sharing openly, and I want to because I have a different viewpoint. I am a physician, I am a neuroscientist, and I am one who has been hospitalized in a psychiatric ward and treated for bipolar, and I've been stable for several years now. And that is why I want to share what I know, because for most of my life, I have been a rapid cycler. That is defined as 4 or more cycles of mania and depression within a year. I created this YouTube channel for multiple reasons, but I always have intended to save a spot for mental illness and to talk about my journey so that other people can be blessed by it as well. This book and also video series is a combination of science and stories. I'm going to talk about how bipolar really looks like in friendships, in relationships, in marriage, in employment, in parenting, and in prayer. It is going to be raw, it's going to be messy, it's going to be real. I'm Dr. Doan. I still have bipolar disorder. I still take medication. I still walk the tightrope between ambition and rest. But I'm here. I'm well, and I am not hiding anymore. This book is my offering. Welcome to the Tsunami. Thank you for joining me today. I will have additional videos that will elaborate more on these concepts and more in future videos, as well as I work on my book. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions for future videos on this topic of bipolar disorder, please put them in the comments below. And also remember to hit the subscribe button so that you get notifications for my future videos. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.